Now we'll work on the translate X of the upper body during the heavy pull. We'll bring back our control curves and select the center of gravity and go into our perspective and graph view. Just focus on our translate X right now, hit F. So we see the beginning of the animation is already taken care of, so that's fine. Now we need to bring our focus more to this area here as the character is attempting to pull back the crate. So what we'll do is, as he's pulling back here, just before he starts to move up again, let's go to frame 58 and we'll just set a key there. Okay, just so we can have our pose there at 58, and now he's moving forward, stepping forward. So what we can do here is on frame 64, we'll shift his weight slightly to the left, okay, based off of that right foot coming up. So here's what we get. Alright, great. Then he plants, and then that left foot's coming up. And for that, we could go to about frame 73, take this key on 75 and just move it over just 2 frames to the left. So it's now on frame 73. And we can even take this key and move it down a little bit more so we can shift the character's weight a bit more to the right to accommodate that left foot step. Great. Now when the character plants, we'll have the character shift his weight. The character's going to shift his weight back a bit to his a little bit to his left here. Okay, like we have now. So we can leave that key on frame 82 right now. And then as he's moving back, just before he steps up, on frame 107, let's go ahead and set a key here for the translate X. Okay, so we're gonna keep that motion as it is, and then when he lifts up that left foot on frame 13, we'll have him shift slightly to his right for that footstep, and then for his right footstep here, on about frame 123, at about the peak point of that right foot coming up, let's go ahead and shift his weight now to his left a bit. Great. And we do have the left elbow popping, but we'll get to that later. That's no problem to fix. Alright, so now we can focus on having the character shift his weight based off of that left foot coming up. So what we'll do here is just set a key on frame 143, keeping the motion as it is right now. Then as the character lifts up his left foot, we'll go to about frame 148 where the foot's at about its height, and we'll bring the character a little bit more to his right there. Okay. And then for that right foot step, we have a key here, but we need to fix this pose of this key. So let's just take it and let's move it up. So the character will bring his weight a little bit more to his left. Great, for that right foot step. And then we'll have the character rock. Once he's planted his foot, we'll have him rock to his right on frame 177, just slightly, and then back to his left on frame 200. Okay, and just a little bit too. Alright, so with these poses set, let's go ahead and render off a play blast. See if we like our translate X of the upper body. So let's render one from this view here. Here's the render. Alright, great. So our translate X motion of the upper body is looking good, and we do have some spots in the animation where the elbow is popping, that left elbow. Let's see the right. The right looks pretty good, but we can check that out in more of a top view just to make sure it's just only the left we need to fix up. So we'll just scrub through slow and make sure that the right arm is fine. And it sure is. Okay, so let's go ahead and just fix up the left arm. We'll select that, go into our perspective and graph view, and again just focus it on our rotate Y. Okay. Alright, so we'll go to about the spot where the elbow is bending, right here on frame 125. Let's take this key. We'll hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up to lock the arm there. Scrub through to make sure that the arm's staying locked. Alright, great. And then it bends at about this point. Let's go ahead and go to 130. Take this key on 130 and bring it up some more. A little bit more like that to keep the arm locked. And then we'll go to frame 127 and also take this key and bring it up too to lock the arm. Great. Then the arm's bending at about 136. So again, we'll just take this key on 136 and move it up to lock it there. Great, and we get a tiny little pop in the elbow, but we don't want it even though it is small, so we'll just bring up this key a little bit more. Fix that. Alright, great. And we have this other bend. So let's go to frame 143. Or actually, let's take this key on 144 and move it up to lock the arm. And then we'll scrub through to make sure that the arm's staying locked there, that the hand looks fine. And we are getting a little bend here. So we could just break the tangency on 144, take the left half and just bring it up a little bit more. Okay, and probably even more than that to keep that arm locked. Alright, great. Sounds looking pretty good. And then we have another bend on about frame 155. So we'll just take that key and again just bring it up so that the arm's locked. Great. So with those fixes made, that fixes up our popping issue we were getting with that left arm. Cool, so we can now go ahead and hide our curves and render off a play blast. Let's try more of a top view to make sure that our arms are looking good. So making sure that our character's in shot, we'll render off another play blast. How about from here? Here it is. So the arms are looking pretty good, but we're getting a slight pop in the elbow at around, and the right elbow that is, at around this point here. Okay. It's a real slight pop, but it is still distracting. So let's bring back our curves and just fix that up to finish off this lesson. Go to our perspective and graph view, rotate Y, and find the area in which it was bending. So again, that was about frame 106, around here. So let's see. Let's actually go to 106, or actually let's go to 104, excuse me. We'll just take this key and let's bring it down some just to make sure that the arm will stay locked. Great. So once we've done that, that finishes up our arms right now. Okay, we've fixed up the popping that we were getting after we've applied the translate X motion. So in the next lesson, we're going to work on animating the translate Y.